Hi again. This is straight off video from lesson 8. In this video we're going to do something a little bit more fun. Let's work with some more shapes. Duplicate that a couple times. Go to our Visual Basic editor and let's do something fun, say random colors. So here we'll need random values for the CMYK. They'll be from 0 to 100. And let's also do something else that's fun. Let's do rotate. And I'll just put 0 now, but we're going to need a random number from 0 to 360. So basically this is the same macro from lesson 8, and we're going to take our shape, as long as its width is greater than 2, we'll add it to our new shape range, our SR2 shape range, and then do something with it. Do it to it, as we called it in the function. We're going to randomize the CMYK color and randomize the rotation. So let's make a new function to get our random number. So we'll say get random number. And this function, and it's going to take a couple values here passed to it. We're going to go, let's say n low as long. That's a long number. Any not decimal number. And then we'll go n high as. Also, let's try the shorthand. This is the exact same as doing this. Okay. And what is this function going to return? It's going to return a long number. So what did we do wrong? Okay, private. Oh, forgot to write the word function. Okay, there we go. Delete that mumbo jumbo. Okay, it's a simple function. It's going to get two values passed to it, n low as long. And instead of doing this, you could also do the shorthand for the function. We would delete that and put that right here. This means long. So this function is going to return a long. It's the same as doing as long. It doesn't really matter. Okay. What are we going to do in this function? Let's start by getting declare another variable. We'll just call it n1, and it'll be a long. Now we're going to use the randomize keyword, and I'll explain this in a minute. And this function, I'm not going to go into too much depth about it, but I'm going to show you how to learn about it. I'm going to finish typing it. I think I got everything right. This is the function. It's a VBA function, so you could even do VBA dot and it'd give you VBA rand. This is a VBA function that gives you a random number between 0 and 1. And when multiplied by your number, it'll give you the number you need. To find out more about this, what I'd like you to do is put your mouse cursor right here and press F1. You could pause the video if you're following along, and what that'll do, that'll bring up the help menu for VBA, Visual Basic Reference. You can look up all the functions and methods and properties that are only for VBA. When you put your cursor here and press F1, it'll go into more depth about how the random function works. Randomize, what it does is when you call this before using rand, it gets the seed for this random function from your system timer, therefore giving you a better random number. A little confusing now, but if you put your cursor here, press F1, read it a couple times, and it'll help you to understand actually how you get a random number. Okay, and now what we need to do, since this function returns a long, this is what's going to be a long. So we'll double click, Control C, Control V, and that'll be N1 equal, equal N1. So when we get out of this function, we'll have, this will be the number that it returns. So if we go up here, what are we going to do? Backspace, Control J on our keyboard, get, and you'll see our function in the context menu. Hit Tab on your keyboard, and it's going to call for two non-optional parameters, the low and the high. You can probably guess what we need here. We need a number from 1 to 100. And we can use this, Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. For each parameter of this function, we're getting a random number using a function. Function in a function in a way. We're inside this function calling another function, and we're going to do the same thing here. Control J on your keyboard, get, rand, tab, parentheses, our low number will be 0 this time, and then high will be 360. So this is going to be a little interesting to see what happens. We really don't need these now. That was just for fun in the last exercise so we could show you what ByRef does. So I'm just going to comment those out for now. And I think I got everything. So if size width is greater than 2, then do it to it. So here's all our shapes. Let's run this macro and see what happens. I get this a lot with the random function. Sometimes it still calls a number. What I do to fix it is this. So let me scroll down. So we'll go, if N1 is less than N low, then N1 equals N low. And then we'll put a colon. What a colon does is you can put another statement in the same line. So if N1 is greater than N high, then N1 equals N high. And we forgot to put a then here. Okay. Now let's stop if it's not already. Let's Control Z. And I'm going to get into a single undo next. Okay, let's run this again. Put our cursor in the function that we're going to run. And run it. There we go. All shapes that were greater than 2 were rotated and randomized. This one is 1.79. It wasn't touched. Yep. 1.79. Yep. Did it correctly. And in the next video, we're going to show you a single undo, and we're going to optimize this a little bit.